Hi everyone, Alan Wendt with Soundings Trade Only here at IBEX in Tampa, Florida 2025. Brian Swanke, Chief Executive Officer of CWR. But here's the greatest thing. You got the title this year, the award for being the best distributor in the nation. Congratulations.
Yes, we did get from the National Marine Electronics Association. We were awarded the Distributor of the Year, which was a big accomplishment for us, and we were proud of that.
Now, Brian, you've got something like 300 different brands inside the warehouse. Why so many? Or is that on purpose to be able to serve all the different companies that are building boats in not only Florida, but in the South?
Yeah, that's really intentional. You know, we want to be the source for every category out there. So when we bring a category on, we want to be the source. So in particular, you know, Garmin is a big brand for us. And but we want to be the source for, you know, all chart plotters, all fish finders, all radars. So we will have every brand possible in that category. We do the same thing in the stereo business. We do the same thing in VHFs and across to other stuff that's non-electronics. So we're a full service distributor. So we're doing it across all brands.
So you must wake up every morning with a headache before you start when you see what the latest tariff report is from overnight.
Yes, tariffs have definitely thrown in a new part of the business that I never thought I would be involved in, but it's become challenging over the last couple of years. But we've managed to navigate those pretty well, and it makes it not easy, but easier when you have good partners that you can work with. So we have some manufacturers that have helped us learn along the way as well.
There's a great deal of innovation required to keep consumer electronics and particularly marine electronics fresh in the marketplace. And with sales of new boats being kind of flat really the last couple of years, how do you do that? How do you manage your inventories? Or is that really up to the partner?
We've got, you know, we obviously have a lot of buyers that handle that for us, and we're having meetings constantly with our manufacturers and trying to get some insight on that stuff. And ideally, you know, we get heads up on new product coming out and about what they're coming with. And, you know, we struggle sometimes to manage inventory. Most of the time, we're a little too conservative. But, you know, we know the brands and we know the products that are going to be a big hit. And those are the ones that we go heavy on. And again, it's about relationships and it's about the support from our good vendors that we have. And we're pretty confident that they're not going to leave us to hanging out to dry kind of thing, and we're always going to have their support in having to move product if we make a bad decision. But you know what also happens is in this market, like you alluded to, you know, maybe boat sales being a little soft and economic pressures. When that happens, aftermarket usually soars because people don't buy a new boat, but they fix their old boat. So that's really where we have both sides of the aisle. Really, we've got.
It's like a Home Depot and Lowe's situation.
Correct.
When it gets too expensive to buy a new home, fix the old home up.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So same mentality. So when new boat sales are doing well, we exceed on the OEM side of the business because we do have some boat builders that we work with. And when that business slows up a little bit and aftermarket takes over, then we end up, you know, kind of getting both sides of the pie on that.
How quickly do you see the trend change where you can track it?
It happens fairly fast. You know, we're definitely seeing the downturn in the boat business now in the new boat sales. The boat dealers are telling us that. The other part of it is that a lot of new boats are coming fully equipped OEM. So that's been something that, you know, every major manufacturer out there is clawing to get their brand on a boat. So when a manufacturer does that, it gives my dealer base, you know, no opportunity to go in and sell product to that boat. But we get it on the retrofit side. So, and we also get a lot of upsell. So most new boats might come with some equipment on it. Garmin has a lot of OEM business on those boats, but maybe they have one chart plotter, and now we can go sell a dealer to do an install and add radar, AIS, VHF. Maybe it comes with a stereo, maybe it has two speakers, and now we can add more speakers, a sub, an amp, and really get a better boating experience.
What do you see trend-wise with today's boater in what they're asking for electronic-wise? Do they want super sophisticated, like the old stereophile that we would call them, 20, 30 years ago?
Yes, they're definitely, they want a more sophisticated boat. People are getting used to the automated home and now they want an automated boat, right? So they want to be able to turn their lights on as they're, walking from the parking lot to the boat across the dock. They want to turn on their cabin lights. They want to be able to control the boat. They want to be able to get information back from the boat via their cell phone on an app. So they want to know, has their bilge pump turned on? How many times is it turned on? What's their battery levels like? From a security standpoint, there's a lot of geofencing abilities that if your boat moves out of a certain area, you'll get a text alert. So similar to what we see in the home, right? I mean, who doesn't have a Ring doorbell now? So now it's that technology has bled over to the boats.
So really, you get the best of everything that comes along the way. You got to have this. You need to have that.
Correct.
And get them to talk to each other.
Correct.
What is your take on where we're going as you look in the next 3 or 4 years, if you can even predict with the craziness of tariffs?
Yeah.
What do you see happening?
I think the tariff thing we've seen it sort of level off. At least now it's like I said, it's been level, and I feel like now it's not a guessing game, right? In the past, it was, past 2 years have been challenging because you didn't know when to buy product. It was a little bit of a gamble. You might buy product and you pay a high tariff, and you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that tariff back, or it's going to cost you more money than it's worth to try to get the tariff back. But I think over the next couple of years, I think we're gonna see some ups and downs. But I think the brands that have a strong brand name and new technology, I think, are going to come out on top. And I think we saw during COVID and then during the tariff times, we saw a lot of companies not producing new product, and they were sort of pulling back a little bit because they didn't know where component prices were going to be. And I think that's leveled off now. So now we're starting to see some new technology. We're seeing new screens come out, new fish finder technology, just evolution of the next product, which I think is what's going to lead us.
Country of origin an issue?
Country of origin is an issue based on, based on tariffs. There are some countries that there's been negotiations with that are at that 10 or 15% level, and there's some that are at the 35% level. Again, it was a real big issue a year ago when we had 100+% tariffs on stuff coming from some countries. But country of origin has become a big one. It's actually interesting, but I think a good thing to have. We have some manufacturers that are making stuff in the U.S. that have come out on top, and they're competing against brands that were from China, Taiwan, Japan that had tariffs, and now they're doing pretty well because their product, which was inherently more expensive, is now on par with stuff coming from the Orient. So it's good to see.
Challenges with apps on phones, which precludes selling a customer a piece of hardware. Do you see that as an effect?
A little bit. I still think the boater is somebody that goes out on the water, and generally he's going to bring his phone with him. But I think he's going to put his phone in storage and not really be using it.
Relying on it. Chart plotter.
Right. So we don't really see phones and iPads. There's a bunch of apps out there, but we don't really see that as a navigation tool. One, they're not very sunlight viewable. The battery draw on them, obviously they have chargers and stuff now, but we don't really see, and I think it's because the person that's boating gets out on his boat to get away from everything. And I don't know if he has his phone or his iPad in front of him with his charts on it, he's going to get text messages and emails on that and just distracted. And now it's just not an enjoyable day on the water.
Great insights from Brian Swanke with CWR Wholesale, which, by the way, I didn't realize you're also in Tampa. You've got a distribution center in Tampa.
Yes, yeah, opened up a distribution center in Tampa. We're based out of New Jersey, but we opened up a Tampa location about 9 or 10 years ago now, primarily to serve the customers down here. We were having a lot of customer demand down here, and everybody wants instant gratification these days and wants their product the same day or next day, and that's what we accomplished. And we're always looking to expand more. Right. So you'll probably see some new stuff in the future.
Great. Thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And from IBEX in Tampa, I'm Alan Wendt for Soundings Trade Only.